Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblum, and you're watching the Theo Nightly video for the 1st of October, 2019, which means it is Q4, and here we are. It's not starting good. The markets are off 1% today, with the Russell down over 2%. So we'll talk about this, and as Don's been telling us, correlation's back. What does that mean, and how do we position into this new correlated market? We'll start with the S&P futures. On the bigger picture, we can see our dominant thesis, which is the sell swing thesis, which is the repeat thesis. In other words, the last couple of times, as we've been demonstrating, the market's crept to the upside, and then fallen lower, and then crept, fallen lower very quickly. And now we're seeing the third time, creep, and then falling lower. It's been a little while to get here, but still, today's session does start in motion a potential more aggressive sell swing. But beyond that, we are seeing correlated markets, and that's going to start with the stock market. So what's the big play here? We still have our declining trend line channel that was effective on today's intraday trades, especially bear flags on the way down, especially under 3,000, departing 3,000, trading toward 2950, and now we're under that, closing the session roughly at 2940. And that's in the S&P futures. The Nasdaq is not much different. It fell just shy of 8,000 and is traded down just to close toward 7,600. Dow mini futures fell shy of 27.5, and now it's breaking 26.5, roughly speaking. And we're seeing how this is playing out on the 20-day exponential average. And the Russell is the weakest, continues to be the weakest. We had this sell swing bias in the other markets too, but maybe more clearly defined in the Russell against 1600. That's taken it down through 1550, and as I mentioned in today's session, down towards 1500, but we close under that. So what is correlation? We'll pick it up with our big picture view. Now if you look in thinkorswim, we have our market watch tool. This doesn't tell us a whole lot. That's the whole market. It's everything. And things are repeated. For example, Visa was a positive stock today, and you can see it happening all over these charts. The way to get a better perspective on our heat map is to drill within the indices. So a simple note, just the Dow Jones, clicking through, Johnson & Johnson, Apple, and Visa, Coca-Cola maybe. Those are about the only positive stocks today, but everything else was down. You can see this easily. We'll just start with the Dow and move forward. Again, the theme for tonight's video is correlation, everything going at the same direction. Not much diversity in the market at the moment. So from the heat map, you might want to click on the index watch. We'll have to put our index right back in there. We'll get the Dow Jones, and that will be right here. So that way you can see exactly what the percentage change of the Dow Jones 30 stocks. So 4 of them were up today in the issues column. And again, Apple, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, and Visa. Not much different than the other perspective. This way I like seeing the bars or the histogram. Most stocks were down 2.5. Almost all stocks were down at least 1%. We can do this for the S&P as well. So on the heat map, again, that's just back to where the stocks are. The correlations are rising. You can look at the S&P 100. Not much else out there that's going up today. And the correlation, again, is most stocks doing the same thing. You can see that over here in the S&P 100 watch list, a lot of stocks were down 3% or 4%, and others were down 2%. And you can see exactly what those names are, and of course chart them. You can also widen out to the broader S&P 500 or your own custom lists as well. So back to the heat map. This is the S&P 500. Many sectors, all sectors actually, many stocks, almost all stocks went down today. And in fact, on the bigger picture, in prior videos, we have discussed this sell swing potential or strategies to get long premium or to protect yourself from a likely sell swing, and that's taking place in today's market. As we'll see in a moment, the financial sector was right here. Not the hardest hit. The hardest hit was industrials, materials, and energy. But financials were up there under 2%. They experienced a 2% decline today. Strongest sectors, not surprisingly, were our defensive names, staples and utilities. So from the heat map to the index watch, change the Dow over to the S&P 500. And that we can see how the histograms line up. So 50 stocks went up today, but 450, 446, went down. I do prefer looking at the S&P 100. It just narrows that list. This way you can see them all. I won't list them, but there's a 10, exactly 10. That's a 9 to 1 in terms of breadth or the advanced decline line. So that's just keeping in mind the bigger picture. And stocks tend to go the same direction, tend to cluster together, which means if you're spreading out your risk, well, most stocks are going to fall. You're not going to find a lot of stocks doing well if the market does continue to sell to the downside. So just naming a few charts here. We'll just quickly go in order of biggest decline in the S&P 100. So DuPont. It is all stocks you're going to be seeing here have a sell swing potential or had. You're in the profit zone if you played put spreads, in out spreads, or other bear positions. So DuPont had this downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, falling averages. And the most recent short sell was into 74, just shy of 75. In Schlumberger, this was a good sell swing candidate. It's showed up a lot of times on our intraday trending list because it tends to have lots and lots of trend days. And if you are short selling the trend days or trading in the trend direction, Schlumberger has been a candidate that appears frequently, both on the upside and the downside. But still, it had also a sell swing against 40 per share. So in a downtrending environment, remember you do want to get short, put a position on, sell premium. Ultimately, we prefer to buy premium, but multiple strategies with which you can do to get into a position that suggests or takes advantage of downside action. With in-out spreads, that could be buying a put spread or buying a put in-out spread or otherwise vertical. That'll be the logic for most of these stocks. And again, the theme is correlation because most stocks are doing similar things, especially those that are weakest into today's close. So Union Pacific, it is breaking support at 160, and that key pivot remains 155. General Electric had a sell swing against its 200-day simple. Not a really high-priced stock here, but still, retracement or flag into a falling average. Triple M is another trend trailing or trading stock, which is short up against 170, that is creating, at least now, a move back toward the lows. General Motors, range or chop or consolidation, which is a range play, and that is roughly 36 per share, and then just above 40. So that is our setup strategy or trade tactic. The concept we call in a range is high to low, low to high. High to low, and this broke through. Once it got back inside the trend line, low to high. Another trap, high to low, low to high, and then high to low. So all those at the edge of the trend line or the edge of the price level, those are short sell into the resistance or long cover the shorts, decide to go long into support. So that's what we'll be seeing in other stocks as well. In Cisco, we had the break to the downside, sell swing against 50 per share, and today's session is a decent trend day lower. Union Pacific, we had a bear level against 120, and that is resulting in another decent sell swing to the downside. And we'll finish, there's other stocks to look at, but ABB Labs just had its trend line break all the way to that 200 simple moving average, and the pivot point is and remains 75. And today I know there's a lot of lines on the chart, but just showing you how the pivots work, how the trend lines work, and how to develop short sell trades into resistance and long buy trades into support. That's the bigger picture for swing trades, at least. So we'll be going forward. Oh, actually, I'll close on discussing financials. So financials had a short sell into 28.50 per share, and today's session is under 27.50. So if this continues, we do see the potential for additional lower prices, and that would target 27 or maybe even 26.50. For financials in general, you can look at those on an individual basis for your own positions. But still, as the market trades lower, and if we hit this 29.11 gravity, if we break that, we have an open air pocket or additional sell swing potential. And if the market does fall off that cliff, most, if not just about all, of the S&P stocks and other stocks you may be watching will probably join the market into that bearish pit. And of course, the positions will be in that framework. As always, be careful and stay safe. This is Corey Rosenblum with your Theo Nightly video for October 1st, 2019.